Good morning, Bitcoin. Today is Monday, March 26, 2018. My name is Thomas Hunt, and here's what's happening today in Bitcoin. The price of Bitcoin is down 4.42% in the last 24 hours, with a last of 8,096 and a low of 8,063 and a high of 8,683. That's $1 for 12,378 Satoshis. Our top story, trapped below 9K. Bitcoin risks downside break. Bitcoin has been trading sideways in a narrow range over the last week, but a drop towards 8,000 may be on the way, technical studies indicate. Dun dun dun! Bitcoin seems most likely to take out support at 8,200 and retest 7,240 this week. The weekly chart favors a drop to 6,600, the weekly 50-day moving average. There is, however, an intraday bullish scenario, a move above 8,550, the 4-hour 50 the 4-hour 50-day moving average. Things are getting complicated here. We're going to need some baseball statistics soon. Could yield a retest of 9,177, the March 21st high, and perhaps 9,200. Only a clear break above 9,470 would signal a bullish break and open the doors for 10,200. Meanwhile, in Europe, Bitcoin is gaining legitimacy thanks to a Dutch court that says Bitcoin has quote unquote transferable value. That's right. You can use Bitcoin to transfer value from one person to another person. It's amazing. We've been doing it the whole time. Crypto kill switch. Monero goes to war against the miners. Bitmain has developed a new antminer, the Antminer X3, that has been purposely built to mine the privacy-oriented cryptocurrency Monero. But Monero isn't having it. Monero has started a quote-unquote war against ASICs, with developer Fluffy Pony saying, "I will do everything in my power to help the community prevent the proliferation of centralization-inducing ASICs on the Monero network." An interesting response and different than what Bitcoin did or what Bitcoin is capable of. When ASICs were produced on Bitcoin, they did centralize Bitcoin mining to pretty much to one location, to China. Is Monero right to fight the miners? Will Monero win their war against the miners? Let me know in the comments down below. Edward Snowden's big problem with Bitcoin. It's not scalability, it's privacy. According to Snowden, you cannot have a lifelong history of everyone's purchases and have that work out well at scale. Well, of course, Snowden, that's why they developed the Lightning Network. It's a layer 2, it's a second layer. And if that's not good enough, they'll make another layer. Also, you have to give things time. Edward Snowden investigated into databases that were already built. He built his own databases and such. But he didn't really make the tools that make the internet. When you're making the internet, you have to go slowly. Sometimes you have to develop it in public first. It's almost like when they had HTTP, but they didn't have HTTPS. Sure, everyone wanted HTTPS. They wanted encryption. Everyone wants a private Bitcoin. But maybe we have to develop the public Bitcoin first. Maybe it's a process. Building things is harder than breaking them. Isn't that true, Mr. Snowden? Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey says Bitcoin will eventually be the single global currency. The Financial Times directly disputing Jack. Jack is now so important, people write articles directly disputing what he says. Does this happen for anyone else? It's actually listed here. It's a read more articles in the "Someone is Wrong on the Internet" series. Very funny. But the guy says basically that Jack Dorsey is wrong and that he's going to transport himself to the future. And he does a couple of jokes that aren't very good. And he says the world's now ruled by the Winkle vibe, blah, blah, blah. And then the best part of this is he says, let's pick some numbers out of the air. Great. We won't pretend these are exact. It's just an attempt to wave in the direction of the orders of magnitude involved. Now, remember, if we're going to do this, we're going to be making a lot of false claims and a lot of straw mans against Bitcoin. So we have to line up our typical straw mans. First of all, technology doesn't change. That hard drive in your computer, it's still 345 megs. It hasn't become a 10 terabyte drive in just the last 20 years. Technology doesn't change. You don't have more gigabytes of RAM than you used to. You don't have a faster processor. Technology doesn't change. Okay, now that we've got technology doesn't change, it's going to cost so much money to mine Bitcoin. Remember, to get the transactions that we need, we're also going to just multiply everything because it's a short-term estimate and we're picking numbers out of the air. So now that we've picked all of our numbers out of the air, we're going to say that it's too expensive to mine all those Bitcoins because we multiplied and because technology doesn't change. Also, we're going to ignore the Lightning Network. Too complicated. Easier to pick numbers out of the air. Thank you, Financial Times. Bitcoin price dips, but experts predict 30,000 this year. That's right. David Drake, chairman and founder of investment firm LDJ Capital, told Bloomberg last week that the underlying blockchain technology could resolve a lot of issues, citing Kodak coin as an example. Drake predicts more and more firms in the coming year to get on board, with Wall Street showing interest. Bitcoin will also rally to the 30,000 mark. However, responding to Twitter CEO's Jack Dorsey's prediction that the internet will have a single currency, Drake saw hundreds as more likely. Perhaps there will be hundreds, but there's still a backbone. There's the one that you use when you really want to buy something. When you want to buy something that other people won't let you buy. The thing you can't get with Kodak coin. And as he says, a jump to 30,000 would not only mean confidence in rule changes, but a market moving past the near 20,000 highs enjoyed by Bitcoin in its mid-December rally. It's not the wildest analysis out there. John McAfee promised to, quote unquote, eat his dick if it didn't reach 1 million by 2020, but it would need a market shift in current price. At the start of 2017, Bitcoin hovered around the 1,000 mark. A lot can change in 12 months. No, Yahoo Japan isn't launching a cryptocurrency exchange yet. There was some exciting reports this year that Yahoo had partnered with part of Alibaba to create a cryptocurrency exchange, partnering with Tokyo-based BitARG, which Yahoo had acquired a 40% stake in. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like it's going to happen yet. However, we do await mainstream's interest into cryptocurrency and exchanges, especially with the launching of the Robinhood platform soon, which will trade, something like a dozen cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin. And Armin van Bitcoin on Twitter provides a detailed overview of Bitcoin projects working on next. Schnorr signatures, bulletproofs, confidential transactions, sidechains, drive chains, and Mimblewimble. Check it out in the links below. Bitcoin is technology. Technology changes and gets better. You can't analyze it based upon the past technology. Sometimes you have to analyze it based upon the vision of the technology, especially when the people are actually making the vision every day. Adam Back celebrates the 4th day of blockchain's week of laps or Lightning applications, announcing PaperCall, a new Lightning Network payments framework that allows developers to create Lightning-powered successors to current systems and next-generation apps. PaperCall would allow you to pay every time you use a phone call with the Lightning Network. And just a reminder, we saw on day 3, the week of laps, tipping. Nano tip. Bitcoin users can tip atomic amounts of Bitcoin to anyone on the Lightning Network instantly. It's a better tip jar with better privacy. Nano tip. How about that? Lightning Network finally delivers on Bitcoin's dream of micropayments, not using a centralized institution, not tracking all your information like Facebook. Distributed, open, free. Amazing. Samson Mao reminded us in the next few months we'll see more functional laps and lap users powered by Lightning and Bitcoin. They're better than dApps using ETH. Bitcoin is delivering on the promise that Ethereum couldn't. Just think about it. When's the last time that you ran a smart contract? It's been a while. And CZ would like to thank Jack and Twitter for cleaning up the spammers on Twitter. It's easy to forget and to take for granted the hard work behind the scenes when there are no problems. This is the real protecting investors. And apparently they banned a lot of bots and improved the system. Good job, Jack. Thanks for helping out and getting on it, because it's very important to not have these Twitter scammers. We're seeing a lot more in YouTube. We'll see the scam with one message and then 20 messages supporting that message. So if you're easily influenced by the wisdom of crowds, keep in mind that the entire crowd might be fake and there'd be no wisdom there. Crypto Graffiti watched. Apparently, there's a new Silicon Valley episode. I need to watch it right away. But you can see in the introduction, there is now a Coinbase image. Coinbase has a small tower next to the Apple Infinite Loop, beautiful spaceship campus, which was also new in the opening. They also had the Facebook sign translated into Russian. A little dig there at Facebook for the election problems. And we found this gem in the Sunday Funnies. Check it out. BC, the comic strip, one of the classics these days. Been around for a long time. Okay, 9 iron. Let's see if we can get through an afternoon together. The club and him might not be friends. He hits the ball, bonk, bonk, bonk. 1,000 clams? How can you live on a golf course and not have homeowners? I also accept Bitcoin. The turtle accepts Bitcoin for the damages bill. He just lives on a golf course. And check it out. Simon Dixon sends in a photo. He says, Bitcoin is seriously mainstream here in Japan. It's billboarded everywhere. And you can see right here, DMM Bitcoin. How about that? And catch an all-new episode of the Bitcoin News Show from yesterday, right here on the World Crypto Network down below. And remember, the World Crypto Network has a podcast on iTunes and Acast. You can subscribe for free and get not only the shows of the World Crypto Network YouTube, but also the shows of Jimmy Song, Tone Vase, Adam Meester, and much, much more. Adam Meister, check it out on the World Crypto Network audio podcast. The Stoic Emperor, Marcus Aurelius, writes, how do you profit off of sick people? How do you profit off healthy people? Convince them they are sick. How do you profit off happy people? Convince them they are unhappy. How do you profit off smart people? Convince them they are ignorant. How do you profit off wise people? Good luck. And that's about it for today in Bitcoin. Please support the show by giving us a thumbs up down below. Thumbs up are free. If you've got some extra Bitcoin, you could donate them to this address right here. I think it has segregated witness, one of the brand new fancy address formats. And if you'd like, you can subscribe to the Patreon below. Support the show monthly. Donate what you want. Help the show. Thanks so much for watching. Check out the comments later. Until next time, bye-bye.